Week 4. Nemo's Secret in the Stargate. Chapter 1. The Bermuda Triangle Connection. The ocean had always whispered secrets. Sailors spoke of vanished ships, of compasses spinning wildly, of places where time refused to behave. But only one man had truly listened. Only Nemo had sought the truth beneath the waves. The discovery of Atlantis. For years, he had sailed the depths of the Bermuda Triangle, chasing legends dismissed as myth. He had studied distortions in navigation, watched as ships disappeared without a trace, tracked strange signals that pulsed beneath the waters. And then, one night, the Nautilus found it. Atlantis. Not the crumbling ruins of fantasy, but a city frozen in time, half buried, half preserved, its ancient structures pulsing with energy unknown to any civilization of man. He had stepped onto its forgotten streets, the echoes of history vibrating beneath his feet. He had read the inscriptions, etched into stone not by human hands, but by something older, something greater. The Stargate beneath the ocean. It was in the heart of Atlantis where he found it. A circle, vast and ancient, adorned with markings not from any language of Earth. A gate. It hummed, vibrating against the tides. It was not just a passage through space, it was a passage through time. And when Nemo touched its surface, he saw what no mortal had ever glimpsed, a future lost to history. The rise of the Morlocks, the war for time itself, the battle that had yet to come. He had stood before fate and understood its inevitability. This was why he helped the Morlocks. Because he had seen the future, and he knew it could not be stopped. Cliffhanger, the gate activates. Now, as London fractured, as the gods gathered, as time threatened to break apart, the Stargate pulsed. Something was coming through. And Nemo stood at the threshold, watching. Because this time, he was ready. Chapter 2. Visions of the Future. The Nautilus drifted through the ruins of Atlantis, its steel hull brushing against forgotten stone, its captain standing before the gate that defied time itself. Nemo had touched its surface before. He had glimpsed what lay beyond the present, beyond history, beyond even the war the Morlocks had begun. And what he had seen had changed him forever. The rise of the Morlocks. Through the gate, time had opened itself to him, unveiling a future so vivid he could feel its weight pressing against his mind. He saw London, but it was not the London he had known. It was a city buried in shadow, its streets lined not with men, but with creatures who once lurked in the depths of time's forgotten places. The Morlocks had not merely survived their exodus into the past, they had thrived. Their influence spread across generations, twisting the course of human progress, bending civilization toward their rule. The gods had resisted, the great minds of humanity had fought back, but the Morlocks had waited. They were patient, they were inevitable. And as Nemo watched the vision unfold, he realized one terrifying truth. This was not a future that could simply be changed. It was a future that had been written into the fabric of time itself. A greater disaster looms. But then, the vision shifted. Beyond the Morlocks, beyond their rule, beyond even the war that time's greatest minds and gods had waged against them, something else emerged. The skies darkened, the oceans boiled. Atlantis, its ruins frozen in history, vanished entirely. And then, a shape unfolded within the time stream, a force so vast Nemo could barely comprehend it. It was not the Morlocks. It was something far older. A presence that had watched time itself unfold, lingering beyond mortal sight, waiting for the perfect moment. Waiting for the collapse. And at that moment, standing before the pulsing Stargate, Nemo knew the truth. The battle with the Morlocks was not the final war. It was merely the beginning. Cliffhanger, the gate reacts. The vision faded, but Nemo did not breathe. The Stargate pulsed, the tides shifted. And something on the other side began to awaken. Chapter 3. A Clash of Wills. The Nautilus was silent, drifting near the ruins of Atlantis, the deep currents carrying whispers of a history long forgotten. Two men stood at opposite ends of fate, H.G. Wells, the man who had discovered time's secrets, and Captain Nemo, the man who had seen beyond them. Between them, the Stargate pulsed, ancient, alive, waiting. Wells clenched his fists. You saw the future through this gate, didn't you? You saw what the Morlocks would become. Nemo's expression was unreadable, but his voice was steady. I did not simply see it. I lived it. The argument for restoring history. Wells stepped forward, frustration burning in his voice. Then you know we must undo this. We can't allow the Morlocks to rewrite history and cement themselves in the past. The very course of civilization depends on stopping them. Nemo studied him, eyes sharp. You assume history is meant to be preserved exactly as it was. But time does not yield to desire, Wells. It is not a stream to be controlled. It is an ocean, ever shifting, ever expanding. Wells shook his head. That's nonsense. Every change warps the course of humanity. Every ripple alters what comes after. The Stargate pulsed again. It knew the truth. Nemo's vision, the path that cannot be changed. Nemo's voice remained calm, but his words carried the weight of inevitability. You still do not understand, he said. I have seen beyond the Morlocks. I have seen the war against time, the battle that waits beyond the veil of history. You think erasing them will restore balance? You are blind. Wells faltered. What are you saying? Nemo's eyes darkened, reflecting the glow of the gate. If the Morlocks vanish, something far worse will rise in their place. You are not undoing their existence. You are inviting something far greater into the timeline. Holmes and Watson listened in silence, absorbing the tension between the two men. The impossible decision. Wells stepped back, his mind racing. We cannot simply let fate unfold as you have seen it. If there is a chance to stop this, we must take it. Nemo's lips curled into something between a smile and a grimace. And if stopping it ensures an even greater destruction? The question hung between them, impossible to answer. Then the Stargate flared. A shape stirred within its depths. And suddenly, the decision was no longer theirs to make. Cliffhanger. The Stargate trembles. Something is coming through. The air around the Stargate vibrated, sending deep pulses through the ruined corridors of Atlantis. The glow within its ancient ring shifted, flickering between shades of blue and gold, like a storm trapped within time itself. Nemo stepped forward, unmoved by the rising tension. He had seen this moment in his visions, this precise second in history where fate would tip into the unknown. Wells felt it too. The ground shivered beneath them, a warning from time itself. Holmes gripped the edge of the Nautilus railing, his mind calculating the possibilities. Watson swallowed hard, instinctively knowing that whatever lay beyond the gate had already decided its path. Then the tremors grew violent. The symbols along the gate ignited, ancient markings rushing across its surface as if racing toward the inevitable. A sound, not from Earth, not from Atlantis, not from anything mortal, echoed from the depths of the gate. And then it began to open. The future had arrived.